Bekaah, thank you so much for taking a few minutes to sit down with me today.
Absolutely. Happy to be here, Marc.
No, that's great. So, we're about halfway through the contract season. So, how's it sort of been so far?
It's been great. I think we always lean on our partnerships, and that's something that is really core to Trek's philosophy. And so we have been working with our partners. We've been pretty stable with our partnerships since the pandemic, and something that we have been leaning into through the ups and downs of the season. Mm-hmm. And so we've actually been doing pretty well.
Bekaah, I guess what I would ask is how do you determine what makes a good partner?
I think for Trek we look at from a partnership standpoint and just building reliability and trust within our network. So we're definitely, working with our partners closely from an operational level to determine what the needs are for the business. And from a category side, it could be something that we're looking at from like a on-time delivery. Is that, a partner that can be really reliable for on-time delivery? Is it a cost conversation? Mm-hmm. Certainly looking at how do we fulfill the needs to meet that category.
So is partnership only cost, or is it broader than cost?
Much broader than cost, yeah.
Okay.
We're definitely looking at how do we build trust within the partnerships, and reliability is a huge piece of that. Service is super important. We're measuring our partners both from like an SLA and KPI standpoint, but also just like how do they help service our business in terms of understanding the needs of our business.
Sure.
And how to support us as we grow.
So even when you think about KPIs and SLAs, how often do you get together with your partners? And I'm just kind of curious about how that conversation unpacks itself. Like, is this something that you say, okay, once a quarter you get together with these guys, or do you have more constant feedback, or maybe no feedback at all?
Yeah. No, we're doing quarterly business reviews, and we have what we call a scorecard.
Okay.
And so we are scorecarding all of our partners on a set of metrics on a quarterly basis. We also meet with them on an operational level more frequently. So my team is off meeting with our carriers on almost a weekly basis, and sometimes more if we need it. Mm-hmm. And we do it really at a regional approach. So we have our origin operations teams that are meeting with the partners in where our suppliers are based. Mm-hmm. We do a quarterly business review with those teams, and then we also are doing that at the destination side. So whether it's in Europe or the U.S. or rest of world like LATAM.
Got you. And are you sourcing globally?
We are, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that makes for interesting dynamics in and of itself.
It does, yes. We have lots of lanes that we're managing.
Mm-hmm.
We have over 200 lanes that we manage. So it's definitely a large supply base, and we have a large dealer network as well. Right.
Oh, because so you're thinking, so you have, in your responsibility is not just the international, but then do you deal with the domestic, the delivery to the sort of the dealers as well?
I report through our director of delivery and distribution, and so that's where that is handled.
Okay.
Outside.
Yeah, but again, makes for lots of interesting dynamics.
It does, yes.
For sure. I'm going to go sideways for a second, and just because I geek out on the fact that I'm a cyclist. I know you're a cyclist.
Yes, absolutely.
I assume you can't work at Trek and not be a cyclist?
That's true, yes. We have a lot of riders.
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
So, what's your favorite bike right now?
My favorite bike right now? Well, we just launched a new Madone, which is a combination of the Madone, historic Madone, and then also the Amonda. So it's light and it's fast and it's a lot of fun to ride.
Oh, so there you go. I mean, it's like a plug for the bike, but it's also like kind of fun.
It is.
And you guys have, you're a bunch of different brands. I mean, Trek is, I guess, parent and the brand, but you have lots and lots of sub-brands.
We had acquired over the years, some brands. We mostly have consolidated into Trek. We still have one brand in Europe called Diamant that we sell in the Europe market.
And Bontrager.
And Bontrager, yes. Yeah. We call it on the bike, on the body brand.
Got it. Yes. Well, I only know because my wheels or my tires are I have the little French flags on them, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I told you, I actually know what I'm talking about in these things.
Absolutely.
No. Yeah. Back to the business at hand. What do you think is coming up for the rest of the contract season? What's going to throw you sideways?
Uncertainty is just here to stay. I think that's the theme of the conference here at the VMA. But I think ultimately the year ahead and what we're looking at again is just continuing to create stability within our partnerships. We don't plan to make major changes over the next year. We will definitely. We always invite a number of new providers to our RFQ. As we're always evaluating different partnerships. We know it's important to have a variety of players in the overall space. But we're really looking for stability, again, just building on the partnerships that we have.
I'm just curious how much, because we've chatted with a lot of different people recently, and data has become a big topic, and maybe that's part of the answer to counter instability a little bit is more information. So when I think about, I'm going backwards, so you talked about KPIs a little bit, but also just in general, data, is that a big part of how you're managing the business these days?
Yeah, so we've been on a digital transformation journey for 8+ years now.
Okay.
We have implemented some software that helps support both the booking at origin management direct with our carriers and then all the way through delivery to our distribution center. It's fully integrated with our ERP system, and so it has like a PO management element to it as well. And so data is super important to track, and we've been definitely looking at how do we continue to leverage the data from the industry, and then working to look at how we can transform it from like an AI perspective. How do we take all this data and then look at it to help us make better decisions within our global logistics network?
And so leveraging AI is part of like the future state of where you're heading.
Yes, yes. We're hopeful that over the next year or so we'll be able to start playing with some of it.
So this is more than just like using ChatGPT to write your email.
Right, exactly.
Well, Bekaah, thank you so much for taking time and coming and visiting with us today.
Thank you so much for having me, Marc.
Excellent.